Okay, let's move on now and give you a spin through the French papers, which are hot off the press this Wednesday, and Solange Mugin is here for that. And Solange, the papers are talking mainly this morning about Emmanuel Macron's government, which is being increasingly isolated.
Indeed it is. Let's start with L'Humanité. Its headline reads, "Extra-large labor reforms." And the cover article goes into how the government has all of the French labor unions against it. After the last standout, Force Ouvrière came out against the reforms. The Communist paper says that the Pénichot reforms, which is the name of the labor law, is now even more unpopular among unions than François Hollande's reforms, which means that come September 12th, there could be even more people in the streets. We can turn now to Libération. The left paper has the same exact tone as L'Humanité. Its title reads "Tous contre," or all against, and then as a sort of afterthought, it says "Chacun pour soi," or each man for himself. The paper asks, how is the left going to unify and fight the Macron government? Because there's so much infighting between the labor unions and also between different political parties and even within political parties.
And Solange, with all the government's reforms in the works and going ahead and ploughing ahead, Emmanuel Macron is now also working on his image. That's according to Aujourd'hui en France.
Yes, he's in a big PR push at the moment. He wants to come off as less of a friend of the wealthy. That's especially because of his drop in the polls this summer. He wants to sort of put a new coat of makeup on himself. And he definitely doesn't want to be compared to Sarkozy, who was known as the bling-bling president. Bling-bling as in someone who is very wealthy, is a friend, is pro-business, and is in circles with a lot of wealthy people. The article in Le Parisien says that for Macron not to come off as a bling-bling president, he needs to make sure that his pro-business reforms quickly trickle down to the poor.
And Le Parisien is also reporting this Wednesday about the former president, François Hollande, who seems to have come out of retirement.
Yes, it has only been, it hasn't even been 6 months since François Hollande passed the baton in May, but he's already announced plans that he is going to start a foundation. It's called La France s'engage, which translates as France is engaging itself. Hollande says that it isn't a political organization, but it is a foundation that it has a 30 million euro budget. He says its focus is a social one, that they plan to use innovative programs to help the poor. And François Hollande will be there only 1 day a week, actually. The rest of the time, according to a friend of his that's quoted in Le Parisien, he will be meeting with tout Paris, all of the brightest, the best and the brightest of the capital. Le Parisien also has a cartoon that's kind of poking fun at François Hollande. It's by Ranson, and in it we see François Hollande surrounded by security of the Élysée Palace, and Macron says, "François, I already told you to go home." When the security guard said, "We've arrested a suspect who was lurking on the grounds." Yes. So Macron Macron's François Hollande's entourage says that he is a little bit dabbling behind the scenes in politics, and that may be because the Macron team has kind of blamed him for some budgetary issues, and François Hollande is not having it.
And very, very quickly, you have one more story in the French papers about the Brazil Olympics.
Yes, in L'Obs, there is a story about a French investigation, actually, that uncovered a huge scheme about the Brazil Olympics. And in the article, they say that the Brazil Olympics may have been bought by corrupt officials. The French investigators found $1.5 million being transferred to a Senegalese sports official just 3 days before the vote to give Rio the Olympics. And investigators have now made, French, Brazilian, and American investigators have now made 2 arrests and 10 searches, namely of the Olympic Committee in Rio.
Okay, Solange Mugin, and that's all we have time for the French press review this Wednesday morning. Thank you very much.